So this project originated a couple of years ago. I was at a volleyball game across the hall, and I went up to Tom Tarpon and I said, "Hey Tom, can I take a look at the weight room? I haven't seen it in a long time." And so he brought me over and he walked me into a room that's about the size of my office. And I said to him, I turned to him, I said, "Oh, well, can you show me the weight room?" And he said, "This is it." The school committee and the city council felt the same way that I did, which is that our students at New Bedford High School, as we strive for excellence and everything that we do here, deserve to have really good facilities. So that's what we have now. This is the best facility of its kind in the state of any public high school. I defy anybody to find any better. New Bedford High student athletes deserve the best, and that's what we've delivered here. Building a great facility was important, but we also had to say something else. We had to name the place after somebody that we wanted our student athletes to emulate. Someone whose standard of excellence on the field and off the field would be something that our kids could look up to. And the choice was easy. Bobby Watkins just stands out above the rest. He set records here on the playing field as a running back at New Bedford High School, and then again at Ohio State, and then again with the Bears. But all along the way, Bobby Watkins has been a class act, something that he has led a life that we would like our kids to aspire to.
The thing that made Bobby Watkins very special as a player, both at New Bedford High and again in Ohio State and later in the NFL, was he was 5'10", he weighed about 188 pounds. He was fast, he was tough, he was rugged. That's the qualities you needed back then in the 50s playing at Ohio State and then later with the Bears. He was a leader, and you don't get picked by Ohio State University unless you have the credentials of leadership, ability on the football field, and in the classroom as well. And he had a great career at Ohio State. He was the leading rusher in the 1953 Ohio State team. And in 1954, he was the leading scorer and led Ohio State to the national championship.
Bobby was like one of the first black players. He broke that color line, and I don't want to say that he was the only one, but he was one of the very first. And the campus was segregated. Bobby had to live along with his good friend. That's how he became very friendly with Bobby Scott, his college roommate back then. They had to live off campus, just on the outskirts of it. They weren't allowed to live on campus. And as a result of that, Woody Hayes had a very special liking for Bobby. Before the games, Bobby went to Woody's house for the weekends, and Woody would bring him there so he could have good meals, relax, be away from the tensions of that kind of thing that went on in the campus, and probably had a lot to do with his success, but Woody took a very special liking to Bobby, and a mutual liking too.
One of the most explosive men on the Buckeye squad was halfback Bob Watkins. Ohio State in the dark jerseys send Watkins through left tackle on this play, and away he goes. Evading Spartan tacklers, he gains 33 yards before three Michigan State players pull him down. From our field camera this time, it's Bob Watkins again as he takes a handoff on a trap play, cracks over left guard, slams into the end zone, and the Buckeyes score against Michigan State.
When I was a junior in high school, it was the first time I played against him. He was a senior at New Bedford High, and the first time I tackled him, I thought I lost my shoulder. He was such a strong runner, tough, and very quick. But another thing about Bob Watkins very few people know, his father was one of the greatest football players in Dartmouth High School history, back in the 20s. So Bob Watkins is in the New Bedford Hall of Fame. His father is in the Dartmouth High School Hall of Fame.
2 years ago, the Chicago Bears drafted Bobby Watkins in the second round. Now the Bobby Watkins Sports Facility will be in his hometown of New Bedford, Massachusetts. It is altogether fitting and proper that this should be done.
There have been many great football players. Bobby's one of the football players at Bedford High School that's right up there at the top.
Bobby Watkins is the kind of person that we want our kids to look up to. That's why we named this place in his honor. And so it's really an honor for me personally to be here today, to be part of the naming of this facility. It's long overdue.
Probably of all the honors he's got, it's probably going to be one of the greatest honors. That if he had to rank them, I guarantee he'll rank this right at the top.
Bob Watkins will always be one of the favorites in my life. As a gentleman, as an athlete, and as a student. He's just one fine guy.